Hello, I'm Bob Schieffer, and welcome to the CBS Evening News online edition. Just ahead, the Sakari mystery. Has the suspected terrorist mastermind been injured? Pentagon correspondent David Martin has the story. Also a big day at the Michael Jackson trial. Comedian Jay Leno testified. We'll tell you what he said. And choosing public service. That's what many graduates from top colleges are now doing. Our Eye on America series, The New Graduate, looks at why. It's all starting now on the CBS Evening News online edition. An intriguing report turned up today on Abu Musab al-Zakari, a terrorist who's believed to be one of the main strategists behind the current violence in Iraq. David Martin's at the Pentagon with that story now.
Persistent rumors Zarqawi has been seriously wounded got new life today when a website used by his terrorist network posted a statement saying he is injured and calling for prayers for his recovery. But like so much else about the man blamed for many of the suicide bombings and such gruesome acts as the beheading of the American hostage Nicholas Berg, the Pentagon doesn't know if it's true or false.
It could be disinformation designed to throw U.S. forces off the scent, or it could be true, intended to lay the groundwork for bigger news to come, namely his death or disappearance.
But terrorism experts like Kevin Rosser say the end of Zarqawi would not spell the end of the insurgency.
It's probably going to have very little impact on the insurgency. I think there's a tendency to look at something as complex as the insurgency in Iraq and to reduce all of that down to a single person. And in fact, it's a much more complicated picture.
When the U.S. attacked his base in Fallujah last November, Zarqawi fled west toward the Syrian border. In February, he was almost captured by U.S. troops, but escaped on foot to the town of Haditha. In April, American forces, acting on a tip, raided a hospital in Ramadi, but found no sign of Zarqawi. About the same time, there was another sighting of him on the Syrian border. Then last week, Zarqawi was heard from in an audio tape which must have been recorded recently since it mentioned the death of the Pope. In addition to the near miss on getting Zarqawi himself, the U.S. military claims to have captured or killed 20 of his top aides and that his network is crumbling.
Bob, whatever the true condition of Zarqawi and his network, the bottom line is that suicide car bombs are still killing American soldiers and Iraqi citizens.
David, I want to go back, though, to this fact. It's, they killed 20 of his people. This is a guy who clearly they think is directing all of this. Why are they having such a hard time getting him?
Well, one clue comes from the man who was driving him on the day he was almost captured. The driver was captured, and he told his interrogators that as Zarqawi was getting ready to jump out, he was yelling at him, asking which tribe controlled the area they were in. So he seems to be relying on these tribal clans to hide him from U.S. troops, no doubt in return for money.
All right. Thank you very much, David. Michael Jackson's lawyers called Tonight Show host Jay Leno to the witness stand today. They expected Leno to be a big help in defending Jackson against charges of child molestation, but it may not have worked out quite the way they hoped. Vince Gonzalez now is covering the trial in Santa Maria, California.
Late-night talk show host Jay Leno, who's joked for months about Michael Jackson's molestation trial, had a warning for Jackson's defense team last night.
I'm a defense witness, so apparently they've never seen this program.
A larger-than-usual crowd of Jackson and Leno fans cheered when the comedian finally arrived for his turn on the stand.
I like him because he makes me laugh. I don't think he's make me laugh today.
Leno was called to support the defense's claim that the young accuser and his mother contacted celebrities in the hopes of getting money from them. On the stand, Leno cracked a few jokes, but in the end, the defense was not smiling. He was yet another witness in this case that did not say what jurors were promised they would hear. Leno told jurors the accuser, quote, sounded real scripted in voicemail messages, and he was suspicious of the family. But despite the defense's assertion the accuser had asked Leno for cash, Leno testified, quote, no one asked me for money.
Jay Leno was supposed to be one of these final flourishes, one of these final knock your socks off witnesses for the defense, and he simply didn't pan out that way.
Also not panning out, The red carpet defense, a string of star witnesses the defense promised. But that was before the judge ruled celebrities could be asked about pornography found in Jackson's home.
Michael Jackson made a decision that he didn't want to bring a bunch of his celebrity friends up here to Santa Maria, only to have them be humiliated and insulted by the prosecution team. And so the red carpet defense just evaporated with that decision.
Now Jackson's defense team plans to rest tomorrow, meaning as early as next week the jury could be asked to decide who's telling the truth, a 15-year-old cancer survivor or the king of pop. Vince Gonzalez, CBS News, Santa Maria, California.
We are continuing our week-long look at the new graduate tonight with the class of 9/11. They were just starting college in September of 2001. Then came the attacks that changed everything, including them. Wyatt Andrews has tonight's Eye on America.
As a Harvard senior, Michael Kalin could have gone for a big money job on Wall Street, but he's going to a different part of New York.
I will be teaching in the New York City public schools as part of the
top college graduate choosing to teach in the inner city.
Est-ce que vous êtes prête? Oui.
It's not as unusual as you might think.
What is the correct ending for il?
Wileen Justilian put off law school to teach high school French in inner-city Washington, D.C.
Good.
Down the hall, math teacher Priya Sehgal delayed medical school, all part of a surprising trend,
Use your notes, okay?
a nationwide rush to public service.
Why did you do this?
I truly saw a need for more people like me in the classroom.
Wileen says she wanted to make an immediate impact one-on-one.
If we are truly going to affect change in our country, it has to start at the bottom. It has to start with our young ones.
We heard the same from Michael Kalin.
What is it you most want to do?
work with students in a very personal way who may have already either given up or don't feel like they can succeed in school.
They all got their jobs through Teach for America, a program now so competitive, applications were up 40% this year. More than 120 Harvard seniors applied, so did 12% of Yale's graduating class.
And Teach for America isn't the only public service program drawing huge numbers of recent college graduates. Interest in nonprofit careers generally has more than doubled. Applications for the Peace Corps are up 80%.
Where's your pass?
After 30 years of Me First, why the return to public service?
This is a new generation, and I think we may eventually call this the 9/11 generation.
Harvard professor Robert Putnam points out today's seniors were freshmen on 9/11, a day Americans learned to depend on each other.
It reinforced a sense of obligation to a cause greater than self. In terms of civic engagement, it could be a really new day.
This is our present-day civil rights movement.
What exactly?
Youth. And the advancement of youth.
If there is a 9/11 generation, Wileen Justilian might define it. A generation that wants to improve the lives of others and is driven to succeed at that right now.
Au revoir, mes enfants.
In Washington, Wyatt Andrews for Eye on America.
More stories are just a click away, but don't forget to join me on television for the on-air edition of the CBS Evening News. On Wednesday's broadcast, killer whales versus gray whales. It's a life-or-death clash of the titans. You're going to see it firsthand. For CBSNews.com, I'm Bob Schieffer.